Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be reviewing the 2025 film Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is one of the most recent Marvel films to come out, the most recent being Fantastic Four First Steps, which I have not seen yet, and I most likely will not be seeing anytime soon, for a reason that I will get into right now. I have not been, at any point in my life, a big fan either or a small fan or a medium fan of Marvel in any way, shape, or form. I have never been like attached to the series. Obviously, I have seen some of the films, like the original Avengers, Iron Man, a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy when that came out, but for the most part, I have never been a hardcore fan of the Marvel franchise. And just superhero films in general. I will say, though, that I sort of gravitate and have a soft spot for DC because of Batman. I love Batman, it's one of my favorite franchises. So, to be sort of, and I even at that, I wouldn't exactly call myself a DC hardcore fan either, more so a casual fan. I enjoy the films that they put out, although a lot of DC films can be hot garbage. Um, in my opinion, I feel like my father said it best, it's Marvel slop. And it's the best way to describe Marvel films. I do understand, though, if you enjoy Marvel films and you watch them on a regular basis and you watch their franchises on a regular basis, not a problem with that. Not an issue with that at all. I understand people love things. People can love things. I can hate things too, you know. So, to me, every single Marvel film that I have seen, every single Marvel film that I've attempted to sit down and watch has been more or less the exact same thing, rinse and repeat, and that is no exception with Thunderbolts, which I should mention is directed by Jack Schreier, I'm not quite sure. The film is also subtitled The New Avengers, which sort of caused a rift in the fan base, meaning that the original Avengers, which were part of the series from the very beginning all the way to I think Endgame. Again, I do not know the chronological order of the series, so forgive me. But it basically means that those iconic Avengers that appeared in those older films will no longer be appearing in future films, as far as we can tell, which has sort of caused sort of a rift in the fandom. A lot of people do not like the new Avengers, which the film itself actually sort of poked fun at, and towards the end credits with a sort of newspaper montage of various headlines proclaiming these aren't my Avengers, not my Avengers, and then sort of towards the end of the montage it sort of switches up to people saying I like those guys. So it's sort of trying to, they sort of know what they're doing by essentially replacing the Avengers cast completely with a brand new set. They are poking fun at the fact that they've done that. They are poking fun at the fact that people won't like that, especially a very funny mid-credit scene where one of the main characters of the film tries to promote a cereal box with their faces on it to a stranger, and the lady just is not having it. She just does not care. She just literally walks away and sets the box aside. That was actually one of the funnier moments of this film, and that character in particular, the Red Guardian, is probably my favorite character of the film. He was just very funny. He had a lot of funny moments. I like the accent. I will say one of the most painful things for me when I sit down and watch a Marvel film is the acting, especially when it comes to the dialogue, which for whatever reason, every single Marvel film I've seen, every single piece of Marvel film that I've seen, because trust me, I've only seen like 3 of them. I know it's an expansive, multi-phase, multi-generational franchise with lore and intertwining universes and crossovers, but I do not care enough to get into that. But from all of the films that I've seen, from all the clips that I've seen, The dialogue is sort of written in this semi-Quentin Tarantino tongue-in-cheek fashion, but it's so monotonous, and the dialogue is so mundane, with little substance to do with the actual plot itself, or even anything remotely interesting, that the dialogue ends up falling flat and just becomes noise. Like, it is grating having to listen to some of these conversations in these Marvel films, and Thunderbolts is no exception. They spend at least 2 minutes talking about the new Captain America shield, which I do not care. Get on with it, please. Now, for as seemingly merciless as I've been so far to the Marvel franchise, I will not deny that there are some moments in their careers or in their, business that they have put out a good film or two. For example, I believe it was called Spider-Man No Way Home, or what was that one animated? Into the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry, I get them mixed up. I saw Into the Spider-Verse. I actually liked it. I thought the animation was good and clean. I thought the humor was good. I thought the action was well made. Clearly a lot of talent went into the animation in that film. And I will admit, I am sort of excited for the Doomsday film, which is coming out in 2026, December 18th, 2026 to be exact, if this date holds up into that point. I am sort of excited to see what they will do with such a coveted and sort of mysterious character as Doctor Doom himself. But all that creativity that went into the Spider-Verse, all the fun uniqueness that went into Guardians of the Galaxy is not present at all in Thunderbolts. It is perhaps one of the most, if not the most cookie cutter, predictable, grating plots that they could have possibly ever picked for a Marvel film. The basic plot is that there is this sort of assassin type of girl, Yelena, working for Valentina, who is sort of a snotty and pompous businesswoman, I guess. I couldn't care enough. I didn't care enough to sort of pay attention to what they actually were. But Yelena expresses interest in quitting. Valentina doesn't like this. She sends a bunch of the new Avengers to a bunker, which was originally going to set them all on fire and kill them, but obviously they escaped. They meet this random dude down there who's named Bob, who is literally one of the best characters in the film. I don't know what it is about Bob. He's just a really chill guy. He was a really chill villain when he became the Sentry. Also, speaking of, I do sort of liked the visual of the Sentry sort of blackening New York City and just like turning everyone into like Hiroshima dust. It was pretty cool. The little girl turning into the dust sort of caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, I thought they killed them, but no, apparently it doesn't kill you. It only sends you to a sort of it sort of sends you through back in time, displaying some of your most painful and grating memories from childhood or back then, which is sort of a theme that the film likes to explore. The theme being the mistakes that we make in the past will always haunt us, but we can move forward and fix them, not fully, but move on from them in a manner that we can proceed with life in a sort of semi-normal way, which the film really hammers in the idea of sticking together. It is. I actually had a friend of mine who told me about this film, who had seen it in theaters, and he told me that the film pretty much did the with the power of friendship trope. And I thought, okay, well, he's probably like exaggerating because my friend likes to do that. He likes to exaggerate. No, he wasn't exaggerating. That's literally what they did. They, towards the end of the film, they get the main villain Bob, aka the Sentry, he sort of has trapped himself in a cycle of low self-esteem and sort of beating himself up because he thinks he's worthless and all that. And then I'm trying not to laugh so hard because it's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. The new Avengers come in and they sort of do a group hug, and they tell him, "Oh, we're here for you. We're all friends," and that sort of snaps him back to reality and sort of disconnects his core self, his core human self, from his evil self. And predictable doesn't even begin to describe the film. I could see the ending coming from. I could see certain plot points coming from a mile away. I could see these plot points even before I started watching the movie. I saw these plot points 2 months ago. It is so infuriating that Marvel continues to shell out such uninspired, it doesn't provoke thought. It doesn't provoke anything. It's just 2-hour Marvel slop, as my dad put it after he finished watching it, which I thought was a great label to give this film and many past Marvel films. I do understand the hype around a lot of old Marvel films, like Endgame and Infinity War. From what I saw, the films were actually not that bad. A lot of people say Endgame was the greatest Marvel film of all time. It grossed the most. It was the highest rated in the box office, so it could be. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched it. But I can certainly say that those films must be better than Thunderbolts. If you are a genuine Marvel fan, would you seriously prefer Endgame or Thunderbolts? Because Thunderbolts is nothing. Uninspired. No creativity, no thought was put into the dialogue, no thought was put into the actual plot progression, start, middle, and end. Cookie cutter, basic. It's like a children's movie, if anything. Which, I mean, Marvel is for children at this point, so I shouldn't be surprised. Overall, if you are a hardcore Marvel fan who, for some reason, still hasn't seen Thunderbolts, you can skip it. If they make a sequel, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it, but for now, I probably won't. As for Fantastic Four First Steps, they did do a sort of cool teaser at the end of the film during the post-credits scene, showing the spaceship with the Fantastic Four logo on it, which was, kind of boss, I guess. I mean, I like Fantastic Four. I grew up with the older films. I did watch the older films, like the really bad one, with like the Thing getting into like relationship issues. It was really funny, but I don't know if I'll watch the newest one. My friend did view it. He saw it and he said it was all right. He said it wasn't that good. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not into Marvel at all in any sort of capacity whatsoever. And Thunderbolts sort of cemented the reason as to why I am not into Marvel at all. Just the same thing every time, same plot, same progression, same utter crap dialogue, everything. It's just not my cup of tea, and that's why I'm giving Thunderbolts a 3 out of 10, and that's it.